everybody? It's Alvin Brown, CEO and founder of the Center for Healing and Peak Performance, and I'm an integrated peak performance consultant and advisor. I give you tips and strategies you can use to help take your game to that next level so you can reach optimal health and peak performance no matter where you are on your journey. I'm also the author of Journey to Personal Greatness, Mind, Body, and Soul, a blueprint for life balance and self-mastery, available at all your major bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, and in Canada, Chapters Indigo online. All right, so this is Soulful Saturday. This is the part of the week, in case it's your first time with us, this is a part of the week where we focus on the soul, being authentic, remaining who you are. I believe in driving hard to whatever it is you want, but I don't want to put my ladder up against a wall, climb at it for years, get to the top and found out I'm against the wrong wall. I want to know that I'm on the right wall. I want to drive hard, and I want to look around me once I get there and find out that everything that I also want is still with me, my family, my relationship, my health. So that's what Saturday is about. It's also about feeling abundant, because a lot of times you've heard of the people who won a great deal of money or come into money and they all of a sudden lose it all. And I don't believe it's because of external problems, I believe it's because of internal. You don't feel you deserve it, so you push it away unconsciously. So that's what Saturday is all about. It's about remaining authentic and feeling abundant. And I also want to talk about relationships too on a Sunday, because that also affects everything as well. So that's Soulful Saturday. Then there's Monday Mindset, a little checkup from the neck up to give you a little tips and strategies, you can use to help your mental emotional game, tighten your mental emotional game. And then there's Wednesday, Hump Day Hustle. It's about the body, structure, function, nutrition, keeping the body running right. So you can see how it flows. Monday is about the mind, Wednesday is about the body, Saturday is about the soul, mind, body, and soul. That's how we flow. So welcome to our community, and this is all. Share this information, because what I want to do, the world is so chaotic today. You can see all that we're on edge, and we want to be the voice that calms grace under fire. Grace under fire. This too shall pass, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that that is true, and that saner heads can prevail. But this, what we want to do, is a movement of people who believe in driving towards your personal greatness, and that's what we're here for. So, long introduction, but I wanted to share that with you because I have a special guest on today. Super excited. This guy here is our meditation expert, our master. He's made meditation his lifestyle. This is not just a weekend workshop kind of guy right here. What we have here is he lives it. He breathes it, and we are lucky enough to bring him on board with us at the center, and you'll see more of him in the future, I'm sure. He's driving towards, he wants to serve on a large level too, so I'm sure you'll be seeing more of him. And remember, you saw him here first, because I don't know in the future if I'm going to be able to get his signature on my book or whatever on his book. But anyways, so that's we have him here, and this is Alex. Alex will be giving us his mindset, his tips, his strategies to make it easy for you. He knows it so well. You can know when someone's a master when they make the information easy for you to take in and don't keep it at this level. He can bring it down. I've been around him for a long time. He can really bring the information down and make it palatable and easy. So that's what he's here for. So today, on Soulful Saturday, I want Alex to give us a definition about meditation, what it is. What is meditation? What is yoga? Is it just something new fad thing, or is it I've heard it's a religion, I've heard it's this. People get afraid of it. I want him to dispel some myths for us. I'm going to let him flow with this one. And welcome, Alex.
Thanks, Alvin. It's great to be here on the channel with all the people watching around the world. Yeah. I think what's most important to realize is that all of the truth is complicated understood. Yeah. Simplicity is really the key. And when we're talking about meditation, it's one of those new age words that really get thrown around. Meditation is yoga, and yoga is meditation. Yoga, we could say, really develops the body for meditation. And you could say meditation really develops the mind for the body. So one is the other. And what we work at here is a holistic experience of mind and body through breath. And just like mind, body, spirit, spirit meaning from inspiritus, meaning in breath, inhalation, that breath that brings us life, it's very similar to what we practice in the meditation as we work from our journey from life to death to be at our optimal or at our peak performance, so we can free ourselves from the daily hustle of stress and of injury and be able to overcome that and see it all as a learning lesson and a tool that we can grow from.
Okay. And why is it vital that someone incorporates meditation in their daily life, like in North America? Why is it so essential?
Meditation really has its roots in awakeness, being awake to our lives. Most of the time in our particular culture in the West, we get sleepy and ignorant, and we start to function at a very low state of consciousness because we fall into sort of the goldfish effect, where all that's important is our sort of small proximity of relationships. When we open ourselves up to understanding that the internal world is as big as the external world, that there is as many stars in the sky or galaxies as there is cells in your body, and we start to see that infinite fractal of complexity, the real simple answer is being able to be okay with that, whether we're seeing it on a micro level or a macro level, as the complications or the permutations or the levels of stress increase, the ability to sit with ourselves and just be ourselves, our authentic selves, becomes harder and harder. So meditation is really here to redress the Western mind to accept who they are despite their circumstances, despite the suffering of their circumstances, and overcome that suffering, not through externalities like booze or drugs or any sort of externality that sort of pacifies the system, but rather through the spirit or life force energy of the breath, that which we call prana, which we can intake at any moment. So it's really about taking a breath, which we're always doing, but it's more like understanding it as an intelligent breath and taking that when we need it the most.
Purposeful breath, in a way. What drew you? So I might have a couple people watching that said, I can't meditate. It seems so easy when you're doing it. It's just literally sitting there and following your breath. But why is it so hard? What drew you to meditation when you were the average of us?
So I was very young, and I was suffering like we all suffer from whatever existential dilemma it was at the age of 14. But ultimately, stress is ultimately the first indicator of why we would turn to meditation. Our circulatory system creates high blood pressure, and we can do a lot of harm to our bodies through stress. And so what happens is when we start to meditate, through respiration, we start to affect our circulation. So the simple answer to that is just a need, a simple necessity to get healthy and well. And for some of us, it's a little bit easier to understand that the mind controls the body, but for others, it's more the body controls the mind. So a lot of people, when they have things going on, they'll hit the gym, as I do too, more through martial arts and yoga practice, but ultimately a practice of physical health and wellness. And then that, of course, that affects our mental state, our mood. But for the beginning journey, this was not the way. For me, I turned to meditation first. I first turned to the mind, and that affected the body. So whether you go one way or the other way, it doesn't matter. Which is optimal is understanding that both ways lead to the same path of health and wellness.
Awesome. So we're going to dig more into, I want to make this a little short and sweet, but shoot any questions over that you may have for Alex, because again, he can dive deep, and we're going to make this, so you can drink some of this water here that we're feeding you. But at the end of the day, I want to answer your question, make it for you, and that we can convince you that meditation, slowing down, is the right thing to do, especially today, when there's so much noise. We need to implement a system, a process in your day where you slow down and breathe, because the breath. Alex is saying it, but that's another topic I want to dive into, is the breath. So last thing that we're going to just finish off with here, because we could go on. I'm really being surface to not dive right in right away, just this is an intro. But I want to ask him one more thing, is what is some takeaway they can get about starting a simple routine, meditation routine?
I think the very first thing is just being aware that you're breathing. So at every moment, whether you're driving in traffic, eating, talking with a loved one, under any sort of stress or trauma or pain, we're always breathing. So the first thing that we can do is just identify the breath that we're having. So in all of these moments, what's our breathing like? What's it like when we're driving? What's it like when we're talking? What's it like when we're eating? Just to be aware of it. And then also to take note of the mood we're in. We call this mindfulness. So this awareness allows us just to be a little bit more present with how we're being, conscious control over our involuntary systems. And then over time, through the practice of meditation, we can start to affect those involuntary systems. Like we feel powerless to our feelings, we can actually start to, guide or instruct those feelings to actually lead to the way that we would optimally want to see them for our own health and wellness, and for the health and wellness of others, having healthy and strong relationships through being the person that we most authentically want to be.
Yeah, the old Gandhi quote, right?
Practice what you preach by being the change you seek.
Right, exactly. And so I'm going to add to that about breathing. Have you ever noticed that when you're off drifting away, not here, not present, wherever you are, the first thing that brings you back is a big sigh. And you take that sigh and you realize, oh man, I wasn't breathing. That sigh is the body's way of dragging you back to the present for a minute. So what Alex is getting at, and what we're going to be showing you going forward, is to be purposeful in your breathing and to train yourself to be present. Because when you wander forward into the future, that usually leads to anxiety and fear, because it hasn't happened yet. And in our minds, we make movies, scary movies in our minds about have you ever noticed that the movies that you make, they're never as bad when you actually face them? But it's worse. The taxes, if you didn't do your taxes, oh my God, then they'll come and shut your house down and take your stuff away and put you in. Meanwhile, it just took a little bit of tweaking, your taxes were done, and it's not that bad. See, we make movies. So when you're ahead in the future, you get fearful and anxious. When you're in the past, you suffer with guilt and shame, resentment, and those are the kind of emotions that you let your mind wander. So they either do one of two things, forward or back. And that's when you notice that you're not breathing. But breath brings you present, because in the present moment, anything is possible. All things are possible when you are in the present moment. Because listen, about the future, and I'm worried about my taxes, I can actually take action in the present moment to change that outcome. If I'm in the past, I can actually change my past by changing my behavior so I don't feel guilt anymore. So you see, the present is where you want to be. So anyways, we're going to go off here. But Alex has got more. I want to pick his brain, and we're going to talk to you more about this. So I hope you're following along, and I hope this is something that of value to you. Meditation is kind of controversial for some folks in the North American area. It's kind of, I'm not religious, and it's not religious. It's about becoming more of who you are. And that's what Soulful Saturday is about. All right. So I want to thank Alex again.
Thank you.
Namaste, my man. And he'll be back. Lots more from Alex. Again, any questions you have, let us know. Alex is actually here at the clinic too. We're integrating meditation into our entire practice is the goal going forward. My athletes are going to be doing it now, so you get a better focus in the gym. My 9 to 5, so the stress at work, they leave it at home. We're going to be working with the police department to help them, because once they're out of that uniform, they got to become Jack, Jenny, Bill, Sally, and live a normal life again, and block out what they experience at work. So anyways, you can see how we're going to got a lot of work to do, and we want to share this. So visit our website, the Center for Healing and Peak Performance.com, journeytopersonalgreatness.com. Share this information. Subscribe. Let's build a community of people who we want to drive hard, and we want to remain who we are, and we want to block ourselves out from the chaos going on outside of our world and reduce a lot of the noise. So that's what we want. So share, subscribe, like, comment. We're here to help. Our goal is to help 1 million people live optimal lives and reach their personal greatness. All right, so until next time, incorporate a little bit of what we said. Just breathe for now, and we'll give you more information, because I want you to be relentless about the pursuit for what brings you joy, and we call that personal greatness. Until Monday, peace and love.